HGC 2024 continues, the Hanzo Genji Cup. We're essentially on the last play day of our round robin. We're down to 6 teams. We have 4 teams from North America, 2 teams from Europe. Again, this is a North American tournament. Starting time is a bit more convenient now for the NA teams, and also all of these games are being played out on the North American server. So there's still a couple of Europeans that are playing here, and actually we are in the series where the 2 teams are facing off against each other. So HGCEULUL is going up against the Storm League Enjoyers. Now, to be fair, both of these are currently struggling a bit in the round robin. Now, this all funnels with the seeding into the final phase. So, while it is kind of important that you are placing as high as possible in the seeding, you still can make your way into the final and win the entire thing, even if the round robin phase doesn't go all too well for you. But the Europeans are clearly struggling with the ping disadvantages that they have on the North American server, so playing cross server here. Now they're going up against each other here to determine who's going to get the better standing. Now we have a sub today. Nagrom isn't playing. Krankle is playing with the account Shadow Moon here on the NA server. Apparently Nagrom's PC got fried. I don't know what exactly happened there, but yeah, it was Nagrom. You're never sure. Nagrom is kind of a funny one. So, for now we got Chromie banned out. We have also the supports targeted, as is Junkrat. We're heading into Dragonshire as our first map in the best of 3 series. There are no draft rules. Again, there's no shenanigans happening here. No, you can only play hero once. The whole idea was to have a small vanilla tournament on the NA server, also acting as a bit of a contrast to all of the special rules that we had lately in Heroes of the Storm tournaments. We get Blaze as our first pick on the side of the Enjoyers. Sylvanas has already been picked by HGCEULUL. They were the first ones to, or they were the ones getting first pick, first ban here. And then on the other side, we have Uther. So, very early Uther pick now as well from them. So, Uther's in the house, and so is Sylvanas, blue team, with the next double pick here. And it's going to be an interesting game, honestly. The 2 European teams going up against each other is kind of funny. Rhaegar gets taken very quickly, can help with some of the camp clear. Then on top of that, we get Johanna for Krankle on the front line. And that leads us into our next few bans. It is kind of interesting. Also, by the way, since this might not be an absolute clear thing, this game is also being played on the NA server. So as a general rule of thumb, the entire tournament is played out on the NA server. Now, I can always argue back and forth about this because it's 2 European teams at the end of the day, but we're not going to go from one server switch into the next here. So since this is an NA tournament, all of the matches, even this one, is played on North America. Is that gonna make a difference? I suppose at least a little bit it is, because generally when we've been talking with the teams and the players about the ping, it seems like the Enjoyers are having a bit of a disadvantage there. Their ping is usually a bit higher than the players on the blue team. Not obviously as big of a gap as we have between the NA players on the NA server and just generally the European players on the server, but just as a bit of a side note of what we're talking about here. Now, it's not going to play the biggest role between these 2 teams, but I thought I would just point it out no matter what. Okay, so with the Haka and Genji now banned, we're heading into our final picks for our first map. Dragonshire, as already mentioned before, so with the Haka banned, globals are essentially eliminated. Falstad could theoretically still be picked. Don't think that we're going to see anything on the side note that we're not going to see anything of the swords. I'm missing something here. We're getting anything like Samuro or the Vikings here. But I was going for a specific phrasing, and I honestly kind of screwed it up pretty heavily here. This is gonna bother me for a while. Anyways, Varian, Blaze, Uther, lots of stuns. Gul'dan to follow up on that. On the other side we get Rexa, and now we have Tassadar, who enjoys a bit more popularity. So now that Dino is not going for Zagara, apparently Tassadar is the next one on his list. It's actually the second Tassadar game that we're getting today. I like it. A bit more Tassadar is nice. That leaves us with our final pick. So a bit more damage desperately needed from the Enjoyers in order to execute that kill combo that they are looking for here. Dragonshire, map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. We have the 2 European teams going up against each other, and here comes Zeratul as the final weapon of choice for the Polish team. Let's go, map number 1. In the first map of our best of 3 series, we have on the left Hazops on Rexa, playing the man with the mask. Now obviously Dino on Tacita, he's going to be the one playing the mage for them. In the meantime, Yasu playing Rega, we have Krankel on Johanna, and Lopaka is playing Sylvanas. Their opponents over on the right side of the map in red, the Polish team with Arian on Zeratul. We got Lavakal on Uther, Richu is playing Blaze, and we're getting Itrax on Varian at the front line with Alvaros locking in Gul'dan for the team. So they're going for a killer comp, trying to get those quick snipes going after level 4 taunt kicks in for Varian. Something that we're seeing a lot of recently, once again. There was actually a time where specifically Washed Up at the time, with Benny played essentially nothing else but Varian, 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 and Varian, unless he was banned. So then he disappeared for a while again, and now he's back to business. When it comes to builds, we have slight adjustments already being made. Zeratul, for example, with Move Unseen as his level 1 talent. Echoed Corruption gets played for Gul'dan, so it's not going into a Drain build or into a Fellflame build. We're going full standard on him, trying to get that Ruinous Affliction synergy on level 16. Hasada looking for the added wave clear also with his level 1 Psion Fusion, and is going for the Psionic Storms here, and tries of course with those then to take everybody out quickly, especially the minion waves, to allow for more pressure on the lanes. Now in the meantime, we're having the camps claimed over on the right side. Both of the teams are going straight for the Bruiser camps, so no surprises there. Bruiser camps get quickly taken. Siege Giants will be up next on the list, as the teams are going to most likely start to make their plays there. But level 4 is also inching a bit closer, and this is where Varian is of course going to get unleashed, and we're going to most likely see a bit more aggression around all of this. So let's see what they can do here, if they can get some quick early game kills, if they can go for some of the squishies, or how exactly the game is going to play out for them. At this point, the first objective is also absolutely good fight for Dragon Knight number 1. And see if they can make a play there. But at this point, it hasn't at least happened yet. Each team has 1 shrine under their control, and that's about it. But level 4 is ready now. So it's time for Varian to start participating in those fights a little bit. And there's the first taunt, Jet Propulsion follow-up, and Dino is getting dropped fairly low. They are not able to get a kill here, but they are able to drop him to, I don't know, 30% of his HP, and nearly destroying him there. Some nice heals from Rega, preventing that from happening. But this is exactly the kind of aggression that you need against a team like HGCEULUL in order to be successful here. So in the middle, after the double control on the shrines has now been accomplished by the red team, we have the Dragonite statue threatened right away. Uther gets interrupted, and Rexa is attempting to take over at the top with the help of Misha again. The king of Dragonshire. Misha and Rexa working in tandem to get some control. They get it, but the kill is happening anyways here in the middle. We have Johanna taken down, and that is first blood in this best of 3 on this map for the Enjoyers. So nicely done. They get a kill, and they are immediately trying to use that numbers advantage that they're enjoying. Enjoyers, get it? To get the Siege Giants. So Siege Giants are being claimed. Put a bit of pressure on the Dino at the bottom of the map. Zeratul is already rotating over, but a good rotation towards the top is happening also from their opponents, using Sylvanas to break through that gate, or at least trying to take the towers down. They've actually murdered both of them, so job well done here. And yeah, Gul'dan nearly dying. So what initially looked like it would be a great fight for them nearly backfired, and they get the gate. So we are looking at a kill versus a kill. Level 7 talents on both sides. The 2 Protoss are going up against each other at the bottom of the map in the meantime. So starting to jump at each other's throat there. But at least Tacita is already gone. The rotation towards the top is seriously threatening Ritual though. And with Condemn and all of the slows, they nearly get him. There's another body block coming in from Rhaegar, but he actually gets out. So Richo is able to survive here. That was a close call. That could have definitely backfired, but they are able to make that work. So now here comes the taunt as the red team is trying to turn things around, and they're able to do it with them taking on Johanna again and killing her. So Johanna gets eliminated for the second time now. So she gets killed, not having a great game. Frankl is off to a rough start for the team, one might say. So unfortunate for him. Tacita now down at the bottom of the map still. There's a little raptor. And the attempt of the Enjoyers to threaten the objective once more. Not quite able to get there just yet, but hell. So, 2 kills to 1. Slightly inexperienced right now. And the Enjoyers are doing well. They're actually holding their own here. There's a few kills that already came through. Taking Johanna down twice definitely helped. We have at the bot lane Dino just playing a very, very slow game. And Alvaro's pausing the game. Today is a weird day. I mean, today, honestly, one pause after another, time and time again. This is the moment when the boys that are watching all of this on YouTube should be really happy that I'm always editing those breaks out, because you guys are saving a ton of time with that. So I'm not sure what exactly is happening. I suppose that we're having some ping problems for the Polish team. But either way, 5 minutes in so far. Very even game still, but a slight advantage for the Enjoyers as they have to get through whatever trouble is currently plaguing them here. So, after a couple of minutes time, problem seems to be resolved. It's always a temporary thing, but they occasionally run into these high ping situations where they are just waiting things out a little bit. I mean, my personal theory, and I already shared it in the past, is that some of these guys just have little brothers that are downloading porn all day, every day, or just like the latest OnlyFans videos, whatever it may be. But again, if it's a little brother, then you are in luck, because you can just go over there, slap him around a little bit, and then slap him again and tell him, like, why are you downloading porn in the first place? I mean, don't you know that we have the internet right now? This stuff gets streamed these days. You don't have to download it and ruin the internet connection here. But yeah, if it's an older brother, then you are in serious trouble and you might have just to endure the ping. Uther already going down, so that's an older brother right there. We have also Zeratul destroyed. Yeah, blue team with 2 quick kills. I don't want to say flipping the game on its head. It wasn't like that big of an advantage, but definitely getting themselves a pretty nice lead and a lot of momentum here as they're breaking through the bottom of the map with the help of Sylvanas, destroying the towers and potentially doing a lot of damage there right now, because with that little move they have a chance to take that fort out as well. Not only destroying the wall, but going for the entire thing. Even if they can't drop it, them taking this many hit points off already is a really good start into the right direction. Dragonite gets threatened for a moment, but it's not really that big of a deal. We had Blaze in the middle, so he was always making sure that nothing would happen here. So was paying attention to all of this and not allowing a Dragonite to be taken. They've reclaimed the shrine at the bottom of the map, so at least a bit of a back and forth that is now going on between them. But it is, at least so far, still a close game. Bit of back and forth. Teams are kind of exchanging who is in the lead, even if it's not by much. But HGCEULUL is currently trying to take that momentum and run with it. Just kind of snowball the game a little bit and turn it into a proper avalanche here. So we have in the middle now Lopaka also still moving around, maybe aiming for the top once again, trying to also push against Blaze. They are trying to prevent the Dragonite from being grabbed here. And Richu alone, he knows that he can't hold this. The only thing that he can honestly hope for is maybe buy some time, but it's not enough to allow a Dragonite to be taken by the Enjoyers. And that means that 8 minutes into the game, we haven't seen a Dragonite yet. So no objective at this point for either one of the teams. We currently have a full rotation towards Blaze in an attempt, I suppose, to take him down. Level 13 talents also ready for the blue team. Not a massive lead, but yeah. And they want that forward. And with the help of Sylvanas, they might just be able to get it. They're getting close. Rhaegar, though, a bit low. Does not want to use his Ancestral. Doesn't want to sacrifice the cooldown there. Okay, oh, Nisha. Misha gets killed as they're just bearing down on her. So the Enjoyers are able to get a kill against Misha at least. Oh, there's Archon. Blessed Shield against Uther. Oh, even Divine Shield. Damn. Blessed Shield against Varian. Uther gets killed. Divine Shield connected. And that was an awkward one. It turned very quickly from the red team trying to get a kill to them losing Uther. And he was maybe a bit too hasty on the Divine Shield. He could have used it for himself. But yeah, gets crushed. Doesn't stand a chance there. So now at the bottom of the map we have still a kill for ZeraTool. Sylvanas Lopaka gets murdered. Now they go for Varian. Arian is thinking about helping out, realizing that he won't be able to do anything. But Itrax gets away. Nice. Good for him. They still have a fountain down here too. So it's 4 kills to 3 and both teams on level 14. That's a nice one. It's a lot of nice back and forth action between the teams right now. They're trying to get the lead and Yasu gets destroyed. Job well done. Nice kill now for the red team. They're drawing even in kills. Rhaegar gets murdered. It allows them to go at the bottom of the map straight up for the next camp. They're going to try and take the neutral bruisers here. It's a fun one, honestly. It's really a fun one. Lot of back and forth the entire time. Kill after kill. Everybody is trying to get a little bit farther ahead here. Jojo already having some trouble earlier. Gets once again targeted. And gets also body blocked. That's the end of Krankle. 3rd time that he falls. So Krankle is gone again, and that means that they're really starting to stagger some deaths here, which of course results in the red team using the opportunity and the upper hand that they currently have to push for the bottom fort, and they are going to get this one. Bottom fort is going to be taken. They're going to be able to grab this. So job well done. And that is the 2nd fort in the game that gets destroyed. Each team has now removed 1. But yeah, it's definitely party time over here. I mean, we are going ham on this. They're going full aggression on all of this now. 4 kills to 5, 16 on both sides. And with level 16 we of course get Benediction. We also have the build essentially completed for Tassadar with a Psychic Shock now. Going for more Psychic Storm talents and dishing out the AoE damage here. Gul'dan 38 stacks as he grabs Runa's Affliction. It's getting closer and closer completing it. So he essentially gets his value. And there it is. Using Misha. 4 stacks. Oh, Misha immediately turning it around with a quick stun against Varian. And that is the end of Varian in this case. But continuously we have this double control from their opponents. So time and time again, it's double control from the red team. They're always threatening to move into the middle and grab a Dragonite, but the blue team has been shutting it down very consistently throughout the entirety of the map. So they are really at each other's throat. It's a super close game between the two teams here. Again, a kill. Sylvanas gone. Even with Rhaegar willing to sacrifice the Ancestral cooldown, they are not able to do anything about it. Rexa, oh, he gets interrupted. Richu bunkers it up, even sacrificed the bunker to ensure that there's no Dragonite for the blue team. That would have been annoying. Just as you get the kill against them, they lock in the objective. That would have been really a pain. So they are able to prevent it from happening. Now it's 6 kills to 5. The red team, they might lose Alvaros here. Divine Shield to save the day. ZeraTool still alive. They go again for the front line. Krankle taunted, and they can't get the kill this time. They took Misha out, but a lot of them are very, very low. Uther is trying to heal him up as fast as he can. But yeah, still tough times here. 12 minutes in, no Dragonite. 12 minutes in, and we have still not seen a single Dragonite as they're all fighting it out. Yeah, well, in this case, it's again Alvaros that gets attacked, and Gul'dan falls. Gul'dan is destroyed, he's eliminated, so is Varian, so all of a sudden HGCEULUL is again the team that starts to take the lead on this and uses Sylvanas to move in for the fort in the middle of the map. They've already destroyed the top lane fort, now they're going here for the middle, and they might also be able to move down to the bottom of the map and take the last one out. Sylvana's already trying to do exactly that. Burn down the minion waves here, escort them in, and in the process also claim the shrine control so that they can go for the Dragon Knight. The first one of this game. 40,000 damage for Tacita, one of the few heroes here that hasn't fallen yet. Misha is holding control. Tacita is going for the channel, and Dino gets it. 14 minutes in, and we get the first Dragon Knight of the game. 7 kills to 7. Gul'dan with the top damage. 46,000 damage for him. And Sylvanas, after taking down the fort at the bottom of the map, is now going for a bit of a push here. Pushing another minion wave out. Moving into the middle to do the same thing here. So Lopaka is giving his team even more experience. They're slowly getting towards level 20. Dragon Knight is now starting to rotate towards the mid lane. And Sylvanas has to be careful. Everybody is coming slowly towards the middle to help out. But Zeratul, at least for a second, thought they had an opportunity to drop her. So, level 20, soon TM. Definitely lead now for the blue team. HGCEULUL has definitely an advantage at this point in time. They are looking pretty powerful here. Closing in on 20, having more of the forts destroyed. So it is a very solid spot for them to fight this one out of now. Breaking already straight through the wall here. Getting a little bit of vision at the side. And trying to see if they can maybe, with the help of Sylvanas and those Storm Talons, go straight up for this particular key. If they can drop that as well, that would be the dream, of course, right now. So far, not really happening. Maybe now, is there a chance? Yep, they claim it. Sylvanas makes it possible. No level 20 prevents the red team from fighting back properly. They are about to get those Storm Talons, but it didn't help them for the attack at the bottom. And on the way back, what we're seeing from HGCEULUL is them also moving straight for those Siege Giants and taking them too. So, Might of the Nerazim just got upgraded on level 20 with Twilight Falls. We also have Redemption kicking in, Fortified Bunker, Haunt, and Varian is going for Glory to the Alliance as his talent. Still a bit of pressure up at the top, and they are lining up those camps at the bottom of the map. Still the reason why the bot lane is the most important one. There's the most camps that are pushing through the bot lane. So you are trying to line those up whenever you can. Azu, the worst actor in the universe, feigning his death here, and they actually fell for it. They believed him apparently. He's dead, we can retreat here. So yeah, honestly, with performance on this level, he's soon going to get a role in the Acolyte for sure. That's exactly the level that we expect from a series like that. So, bit of a push for the bottom, for the core. But it's not breaking through anything here yet. Yeah, but still. Maybe the red team can fight back now. Now that they have level 20 talents, there's a chance that they can pull that off. So, for now, we're having the next objective being announced. Only one fort has been destroyed here. And he has an opportunity to try and get more kills. But I like the way that Dino and everyone else on the blue team is always double-checking the bushes just now. Because the worst thing that could happen to them is getting a bit too close to the heat here. Getting taunted by Varian. Jet propulsion follow-up and then a perfectly executed combo by the Enjoyers that leads to a quick kill and a 5 versus 4 situation. So them double-checking on all of these is exactly what they need to do. I mean, Zeratul is even sitting at the side just waiting for anyone to jump in here and take advantage of that. Maybe even get a solo kill. But teams are very, very cautious now. And the blue team is also, with this topside push, putting a bit of a timer on the Enjoyers. The Enjoyers are going to lose, potentially, the entire wall here. Nobody's rotating over. It's one of the things that the blue team was actually trying to trap. The rotational play towards the top, but it hasn't happened so far. So this is giving them more pressure at the top lane. Could result even... Blaze is now slowly moving in. I was about to say could result in the keep taking damage. And yep, that's essentially what's happening here. If Blaze is not taking care of that spot. But now that he is visible topside, they know exactly where he is. So they know that they have a 5 versus 4 if they can force a fight somewhere. That's why we're seeing the rotations coming in from their opponents. As they're trying to prevent another Dragon Knight being threatened. Oh, but Zeratul gets caught at the bottom of the map and killed. So Zeratul is down. He's the one that should have the mobility to avoid that from happening. And now that he's gone, they're going for core. Yeah, they got 4 catapults behind them. 4, 3? I think that's 3. 3 catapults. So 3 catapults are coming in, and they're going for the core. ZeraTool was the one that they were trying to take out here, and since that worked for them, now they're making a play, trying to end the game. Things are looking, once again, pretty fantastic here for HGCEULUL. There's an opportunity to at least do some damage. They want kills first and foremost. They're getting Uther. He has Redemption, but Blaze doesn't. Blaze is down. He's gone, and they are still poking away at the core. Dino with damage and AoE, but they are retreating once again. Dino eats basically the entire Echo Corruption here. Still hoping to get another kill, but ZeraTool is coming back. Misha has gone, and I don't think they can do this. I thought they would be able to damage at least the core, but even that is falling short. Still on 100%, lost the entire shield, but didn't get scratched. I thought they would be able to do more here. Not necessarily end the game, but I thought they could do significant damage to the core and then prep it up for a potential fight later on, and maybe even a backdoor around it. 81,000 damage now from Gul'dan. Top damage in the game. We have Tassadar, who's the only one in this entire game that hasn't died yet, with 69,000 damage now. Nice. But, yeah, here's the next attack. And talking about Gul'dan, is gone. Time to say goodbye. Gul'dan is gone. Varian, I mean, he's gone too. He just doesn't know it yet. Gets murdered by Misha as Misha jumps in. And, well, off we go again. So now that they took 2 heroes down, now's the time, right? So now they're trying. Blessed Shield gets thrown out. They want more. Blaze with a bunker. And they are aiming for the core again. The Ancestral is connecting. Once again, big heals. Lavakal, bit low. Able to move away. But can they take that core out? Archon is in. Blaze is gone. And that should be all she wrote. They're losing Tassadar, though. Tassadar is eliminated, so that means it's a 2 versus 4 now. If you count Misha, it's 5. And 10 seconds until Gul'dan is back. I am not so sure if they can end this. They can do damage, but can they end it once the Gul'dan comes back? The core is at 70%. This might be the moment right here. 50%. Yeah, it's looking good. 50%. They're looking good here. Lopaka is very low, though. Lavakal dies, and he's not going to come back. He didn't have the redemption cooldown, but the game's over anyways. The lead for HGCEULUL, ladies and gentlemen, in this best of 3 at the round robin.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom, map number 2. Time to ban the Vikings. I don't think we're gonna get them here. But yeah, it's actually a little bit of a sad one. So enjoy us against HGCEULUL. Map number 2. Dragonshire went to the blue team, and the first thing that happens is they ban the Vikings. It's a sad moment. Unfortunate. So let's go. But okay, now that Chromie is getting banned, we have Lucio eliminated too. One of the things that we also talk about a lot, and actually a question that has just popped up in chat, and I thought I would address it here since we also then have it part of the YouTube video. My opinion on House of the Dragon. Guys, I can't help myself, I don't like the show. I might have to give it another chance, but House of the Dragon gets... Everybody loves it, everybody likes it. I'm not saying it's bad, but it just doesn't really capture me whatsoever, and I don't know what it is. I watched big parts of the first season, and it just doesn't do anything for me. Whenever I hear people praise it like over the moon, I'm just like, it's just not for me. It's not like with Blue-Eyed Samurai, which was a total crap show and was absolutely bad and ugh, and it really annoyed me that people praised it because it was just so bad and had so many plot holes. It's just a series that doesn't capture me for some reason. And a lot of the characters, I just don't like them. It's not like they're flawed and I'm saying like, oh, this doesn't make sense, this is stupid, but I just don't like the characters. So, I don't really know. It seems to be one of those things that is just not for me. I might have to give it another shot. Maybe it was just that first watch that I couldn't really appreciate it, but again, I'm one of the guys that actually read the books of Song on Ice and Fire when they initially started to come out. So at least the universe is something that I'm very much into. So, yeah. But I don't know. I heard that people love the second season, the ones that liked the first season, but yeah, the one thing that I'm looking forward to, and this is literally the only series these days in a Disney universe that I still think is okay, is the second season of Andor. Andor was really nice. First season of Andor was fantastic. So if you're tired of all of this crap like Acolyte and I mean, like seriously, all this, basically all the shows that they're releasing, this is the one glimmer of hope that the second season of Andor is as good as the first one. That was a really nice one. Bit slower pace, might not be for everybody, but that was a pretty decent one. And also, they announced the second season of Arcane, right? So first season was really nice. I hate League of Legends with a passion, but that was a good series. It was really well done. What's also interesting is that we have a double global right now for the enjoyers. So we got the Haka and we got Falstad on Towers of Doom. I mean, again, it is a big map and a map where you can, with global heroes, have a huge impact. Brightwing can't compete with it for, again, mainly the wave clear reason. Doesn't have the same wave clear there. So, yeah, here comes Sylvanas as a ban. If you look at the bans just in general, I mean, we have some that got mirrored from game 1 to game number 2, but Sylvanas gets addressed with the push power that she had previously. Zeratul became a problem for HGCEULUL, so this time they're shutting him down. Vikings, of course, get addressed since Hanzo is still known for his Viking plays. It's kind of a shame that we're not getting any Vikings these days anymore. But, yeah. With that, we're getting Hanzo and we get Muradin. So, Muradin Stormbolt for Crankle. We get Blaze for stun follow-up. Brightwing has some CC. Hanzo can YOLO out an arrow too. So, that's pretty nice. And then, of course, the question becomes what are we gonna get now for the final 2 picks over on the red team side. We still need a main tank. They have only their side laner, so main tank needed. They need their healer. And that's essentially it. The damage has already been locked in with Junkrat and Falstad, Malfurion for the root, Varian. So again, trying to go for these taunt combos, this time with a Tong from Dehaka as the potential follow-up from them. And this leaves us with Dino as the final pick for the blue team. So HGCEULUL can now lock in a fast one for Dino, Tracer, Genji, whatever's going to be here. Something that's probably a bit spicy. You gotta be careful with Variant though if you go for any of those. But it is still possible. Or could go for a mage. I mean, mages, they go for Jaina, and that leads us straight into the second map of the best of 3 series. Game number 2, HGCEULUL on the left in blue. We got Hazops on Blaze, we got Jaina on... Jaina is on Dino, Dino's on Jaina, or something along those lines. No matter how I say it now, it's going to sound a bit naughty. But yeah, so we have Jaina, we have Yasuo on Brightwing, Shadow Moon, aka Crankle, is playing Muradin for the blue team. And then on top of that, we have Lopaka, last but not least, with Hanzo. So, a 1-0 lead for the blue team. On the right side, Arian with Junkrat. We get Richo on Dehaka. The double global gets completed with Alvarez on Falstad. We have Itrax on Varian. And Ladakal is playing Malfurion. So, off we go. We have our second map. It's match point for the blue team in this EU versus EU battle on the NA server. Which is a bit weird, but that's just how it is. And yeah, who takes it? Who's able to lock in the victory here? And is the double global something that will allow the red team to take control over the flow of the game on this one? Or is after game number 1 just too much momentum already in the hands of their opponents? Is HGCEULUL just going to continue where they left off and make their plays? Now, obviously, with Varian, the old rule is still the same. You're trying to get to level 4 as quickly as you possibly can to get taunt in, and then they hope to follow up with Junkrat traps, with the Haka Tongs, Malfurion roots. We don't have any kind of Stukov lurking arm play, but still plenty of opportunities for them to get quick kills. They might not have a mage, but they still have the damage output that should be sufficient in order to get some of these hits in. But, of course, they're not the only ones that can go for some of these quick attacks. When you're looking over to the blue team, then it's still a lot of CC tools that can be chained. Muradin Stormbolt into jet propulsion, maybe even into an arrow from Hanzo, and then on top of that you have that burst damage from Jaina. So you are going to get a huge amount of damage out in a quick time, which can help you to lock in very quick kills, specifically when we're talking about, let's say, some of the squishies that exist on the other side. So, but well, with that said and done, already another quick little jump from Variant forward. Muradin also in here, okay, and Jaina's the first one to fall. Dino gets killed. Yeah, they're all just battling that out and going for a little scrimmage here. And then, bam, it's the end of Jaina, even without taunt. So now that we have Varian on level 4, that is probably where the red team is going to get a bit more aggressive and is going to look more and more for these neat little moves and flanks. Trying to play with vision maybe a bit, hiding, waiting for anybody to fall into a trap and go for a sloppy or lazy rotation. Especially, of course, when we're talking about the damage dealers. But at least for now, we have the first blood. Here comes the next. Ah, damn. I'm not quite sure. Aatrax not going for the taunt here, as it seems. Tried to go just for the slow, and then maybe the follow-up from Malfurion, and just taunt later to extend the CC duration just slightly and allow them to make a move. Whatever the idea was, they weren't able to fully play it out. So, yeah, not able to get themselves a quick second kill. I mean, still looking for more here, but now that the triple altar phase is up, it's also about the teams trying to get ahead on this. So the channel with Lavakal is nearly happening, but gets interrupted again. As with the globals, the red team should have the upper hand, as it can very quickly move down now. The Haka is slowly starting to move in. Blaze is still fighting it out with Falstad up at the top lane. And Lavakal should eventually be able to get the channel. Gets barely interrupted there at the end by Hanzo, who is able to get away. But the shots are fired, and it is, as expected, the red team that is able to get 2 out of the 3. So now the core is down to 32 points. The early level 7 talent comes in as a reward for all of the early game damage that they've done here too. Again, not a whole lot. It's nothing insane here, but it gives them the early level 7 talent a slight advantage by not even half a level, which can still be extended. Skullcracker now for Muradin, so now that we have the mini stuns in, that can always be nice whenever you're finding yourself in these team fights. If you get one of those out, that's always pretty neat. Skullcracker just generally is a very, very annoying talent, obviously, to encounter, and can make, sometimes with a bit of RNG, really difference between you winning or losing a team fight here, especially when one of the bigger cooldown abilities gets interrupted by it. So, for now, it's just normal rotations again. It's a little bit slower now. I mean, they're still trying at the bottom of the map to maybe break onto the bell tower here. Keep in mind, this is the map choice of the blue team. They are the ones who really, really love to play here, and always have. But the globals are all on the side of the red team. So when it comes to global control and potentially controlling the game that way, it's really the enjoyers that have the upper hand. And they're currently doing their best to use that already to their advantage, with the Haka and Falster just controlling the mid and the top lane, and having the ability to join up with the rest of the team at any point in time. And we might actually see quite a bit of that. So down here, the fight's still continuing. Blue team willing to move in, but that could trigger exactly that. Maybe the Haka moving in, but Junkrat goes down. Alright, without any assistance, Junkrat is gone. So that's the kill for HGCEULUL. And really nice connect now on Varian 2 as they grab a second kill and the lead. In experience, even the chance to break through the wall here. So fantastic little move by the blue team that allows them to get a double kill, get a lead in experience, lock in level 10, and grab that bell tower? Probably not, but at least the wall. Bell tower would probably be a bit too much to ask for, but they got heroic abilities now, so they can force a fight whenever they have an opportunity to do so. At least for the next few seconds. But this really helped them. That really, really helped them. Now the red team with Twilight Dream as the level 10 talent. So they're not going for Tranquility here. They're trying to play this around with silence. Junkrat hasn't taken... Don't tease me with a good time, Junkrat. I mean, seriously. Junkrat, are we going to get the rocket right? I do not believe so, but it would be amazing. He's going to go Riptire. He has to. And he does. This is just, it should not be allowed. If you have a standard talent here, you should have to pick a level 10 super quickly and not just tease us with going rocket right and then not taking it. That's just mean on so many levels. Crankle here at the front. Has to be a bit careful, of course, as well. 2 kills to 1. Blaze is actually getting a lot of damage in against the bell tower at the top. Way more than expected. I mean, damn. If they're giving him more time, he's going to take the entire thing, and we're only 6-7 minutes into this. So that bell tower is going to fall eventually. The Haka is able to save it for now, but that is not going to last. They're going to lose that for sure as the game continues. And then they will have to try and claim it back. So as it stands right now, not really a whole lot of kills in the game, only 3 in total. But still, very interesting situation with the bell tower at the top. Arrow connects in the back with 2. They're trying again for Varian. Comes out with a taunt, eats the Stormbolt, but still totally fine. So yeah, not a problem for him. Still a few of the pumpkins that could be escorted through. And now that the Haka has joined the fun, this is allowing Blaze to definitely get it. So it's the fight over the altar at the bottom of the map. But the bell tower is going to be lost. Bell tower is gone at the top, and even if the red team is now able to channel the altar, it's going to only result in 3 shots fired. But it's more about the attempt at getting map control that we're seeing from their opponents. Interrupt is happening again, but Mirrodin gets also killed. So with Blaze rotating down, they might have been able to turn into a 5 versus 5, but since the main tank is gone, they have to abandon the position and just accept that they're going to lose this. And they might lose a bit more now, because essentially what we're looking at is an attempt to get the bell tower at the bottom left control too. So the red team is realizing that now with a numbers advantage, they might have a chance here. They're trailing by an entire level on the other hand. So they're entire level behind right now, which is of course a bit annoying. Falstad with a gust to help them retreat here. But definitely an interesting development in the game now. So 25 to 32 points on the core, but that bell tower control with 5 to 3 overall is really a concern. That's a bit of a problem, if we're honest. The arrow missing, but they're still getting the kill against the Haka in the mid lane as they're collapsing on him. That's the 3rd kill for the team now. So we are all over the place on this. We're really in a interesting spot now. And Falstad is now trying to take the bell tower at the top back. This is obviously the good news. If you have the globals, now you can really use them in a situation. Arian, though, gets caught and killed, and damn, that's another one. Malfurion as a squishy just has no chance when you're seeing half the team collapse onto him the way that they just did. So now they're going for another bell tower conversion, even with Falstad working his wings off at the top in order to reclaim this. It's just going to be a trade. And with a 5 versus 3 bell tower spot, now that the altars are spawning down at the bottom of the map, if they get both of them, they would take the lead on the objective as well. So things are starting to get a bit tricky for the Enjoyers. They are already down in the series, and game number 2 doesn't really look too hot. They are 1.5 levels behind, and they're struggling. The only one that hasn't fallen yet is Falstad. This is actually an interesting little play. Dino can't do anything about it by himself. Yeah, not willing to sacrifice the arrow, so shots get fired. They get all 10 shots fired, but with those 4 dropping onto the blue team's core, the lead still goes to the red team. So, nicely done. That was actually kind of sweet. That was a neat little move. They realized that they wouldn't be able to do anything about these altars, so instead they're just going for the boss, lock it in. Dainu kind of realizes it, but a bit too late for the team to do anything about it. So now they're just sitting there saying like, yeah, well, can't do anything about it. Level 16 is going to kick in next. That's going to give us the talent advantage then again for the blue team, and they're going to be trying to build on that as best they can. Yeah, already Hanzo sitting here in the middle. Alvaros was sitting at the side. They were basically thinking, okay, can we do anything about it? Maybe isolate him with the gust, but since he has bunker up too, that was not really in the cards. Lavakal maybe with a silent. Yeah, not even that. Yeah, not really. So, they have 1 level to bridge until they have their own level 16 talents. In the meantime, we're now having at the bottom of the map, I mean, essentially an attempt to try and bring this back a little bit. Hope that they're somehow able to reclaim. I personally don't see that happening, to be honest with you. At least not just now. We have a triple altar phase coming up, and this is where it's really going to hurt them. Because now with the triple altar phase, what this essentially means is that with 2 of the altars channeled, they're going to be down to 12 points. If you get all 3, then it's single digits on the red team score. And they are barely getting level 16, but Harzobs is not going to be interrupted. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, and that is 10 shots fired against the red team's core. They're going to be down to 12, and the lead has now been significantly claimed by the blue team. They're way ahead on this one now. So looking very strong here. And they are also now claiming some of the pumpkins, as the red team is hoping to retake the bell tower. But now they have to not only try and retake the bell tower, but also deal with the pumpkins at the same time. So yeah, good luck with that. Stormbolt is already coming out, but they nearly got at least that. A little bit more poke from Falsa, and they have it. Hanzo's arrow, Gust, just to make sure that nobody dies here. They haven't been able to claim the bell tower yet, though. It's going to be close, but still. So shots are being fired. They're going to reclaim it. Yeah, I mean, it's always late game. The one thing that is really boding quite alright for the red team is that they have already gotten this bell tower very low. So if they just gain a bit of momentum and claim it, then there's always a chance that they can snowball it and really go for one of those big 6.5 out of 10 comeback moments on Towers of Doom that the map is known for. But of course that's only a thing if they're preventing stuff like this from happening, because with Hanzo and Hanzo just moving in super easily towards the middle, they can do lots of damage there. Now they will lose that bell tower at the bottom left, but that was happening anyways at some point in time. But since Blaze is getting this one mega low, there's a chance that they're even converting this over in time for the altar that will spawn in 20 seconds. And nobody is dealing with this. So this is actually a real nice spot now. This one is taken, so it's 4 versus 4 bell towers, no matter what. While the bot lane is more important, that's true, this is still very, very nice. Because when you think about how much damage was done to structures, the blue team has definitely gotten the better trade out of this one. Now damage output, we have 15,000, 16,000 for Falstad. Top damage in the game for the red team. 30,000 for Jaina. Here comes the fight. Arrow, big heal. Dino with a nice block just before he falls. Still gets killed by Junkrat, but Malfurion is gone. Junkrat gets eliminated. And after the Gust, it seems that Varian is also going to get annihilated here. 3 heroes down, and they even got the Haka over here. So 4 heroes get annihilated, and that is an easy channel, an easy 4 shots fired, which means we're looking at single digits on the red team's core. They're down to 8, they're still a level behind, and bell tower control can now be fully established again at the bottom left. And of course, they can also start to potentially move for boss. 20 seconds, they could try and do that. Yep. But normally, of course, what you see teams do is try and get more and more control of the map itself by claiming bell tower after bell tower. And this one is not going to be any exception. So they have a 5 versus 3 situation going. Brightwing is currently defending the middle here. 20 talents are ready, which gives us invisible friends for Brightwing. We have Rewind and we have a Bullseye. It's the imaginary friends. This should actually, this is like slightly, this is misnamed. Brightwing has only imaginary friends, that's why they're invisible. So yeah, there's a certain correlation there. Now, Jaina with a ability rotation at the top is starting to make quick plays for the pumpkins. Trying to also do more damage towards the bell tower here. 2 altars would end the game. And actually the next altar phase is going to spawn too. And I do not think that the Enjoyers are going to have level 20 by the time that it hits. If they take the boss, that would help them as well. 30 seconds. They might just get their Storm Talons. Jaina at the top though. Maybe does she have her cooldowns back in time to get another... Oh, whoa, they want to get kills too. Mirrodin with an aggressive jump. They're definitely going to get the bell tower. But they're not going to get a kill. So the bell tower is taken. Yep. Altars are spawning in 8. And let's not forget, the boss is there too. So either you get both of the bell towers, you get a bell tower and... sorry, an altar. Both of the altar. Oh my god, is he actually getting it? Dino, the Haka is coming in from behind and gets immediately hit and hit hard. Dino dodges everything here. Arrow comes out against Falstad in the back. A bullseye follow-up to extend the stun and the bunker on the ground. But the altar has been channeled. Was interrupted in time here as they're trying again. But Junkrat is firing away. And Hanzo's now moving over to the left to at least ensure that they're getting 1 out of the 2. So the 5 shots fired are essentially secured. Boss is up and could be the one thing they're fighting over. But we have also the objective, well, Yeah, that one is still up. Oh, it tracks! Varian is low, so is the Haka. Both of them in trouble. The first one falls. Wind tunnel into a corner, eliminates at least Muradin, and Jaina dies too. But it's 2 kills against 2. Ult still not taken for Varian. Well, his dad doesn't need it right now. Yep, maybe now Lopaka. Yes, he dies. Alvaros with a big play for the team to keep them in the game. Hazu and Yazu both on the run right now and being chased, but Malfurion is more concerned with channeling the altar, which he just now did. Boss is up. Don't think that anybody can actually go for that now. Are they really thinking about grabbing it? Damn, they are. So they want the boss. They want to remove that as a tool to potentially end the game. And I guess they're gonna get it. They have 3 heroes up. Blaze doesn't do anything. Brightwing, nope, they're already too late. So this is another 4 shots fired and will put the core down to 11 points. 3 points to 11 now. So, bit of a closer game all of a sudden. Still an lead and advantage for the blue team, but something that can theoretically at least be bridged. So yeah, theoretically they can actually do something with this. Okay, so what's... They're retaking the bell tower. I mean, again, matters mainly in the sense that now they can do more damage. The result is the same in regards to what happens when they lose an altar. Because, yeah, it's only 3... I mean, even a pumpkin camp. We get the entire pumpkin camp through. That would be enough to end the game. 53,000 damage for Hanzo. 45,000 damage for Jaina. We have 40,000 for Junkrat. He's the top damage dealer for the Polish team. But right now, he has maybe an opportunity. Well, there's another opportunity to end the game for HGCEULUL. Here's the chance, right there. I mean, now 11 kills to 6. Bottom of the map. Altar spawning. Hazu already trying to get the team into a good position. Shutting off the entrance points a bit. The Haka can always move in. That's exactly why we also have Muradin. Double checking everything here. So this is for all the marbles. The channel can't happen. They're looking for kills. Arrow, nice. They're trying to go for the Haka. And he is mega low. Gets the heal, but these wind tunnels from Alvaros are top notch. Double kill against Brightwing. Triple as Jaina, Hanzo and Brightwing fall. And that's the channel. They're going to get them down into the single digits. Is this the comeback? Right here. Alvaros has now twice won them huge team fights with gusts that he was able to get through. The wind tunnel plays were awesome. And they are getting rewarded. Muradin in the middle is trying to take one of the bell towers, but down at the bottom of the map they just lost one. That's potentially 5 shots fired, and it will drop them into the single digits. So the game, while not over yet, the Enjoyers, they have momentum now, and they are seriously starting to threaten a victory in Game 3. So HGCEULUL has to be very careful here. The Enjoyers are trying to bring the game back, and they're getting, I don't want to say, they're not really getting greedy. They're gaining all of the momentum here now. So they want even more shots, and if they take that bell tower, it means a single altar is not going to cut it for HGCEULUL. So there it is. 6-2 on the bell tower situation. Bam! 5 points to 3 now on the core. It's a 5 versus 5 again. They can start retaking some of those bell towers, but this is exactly what the blue team wanted to avoid. It's a typical Towers of Doom comeback situation that we have going on right now. The Enjoyers, they're trying to take control. At this point, it's about the pumpkins at the bot lane. Quick move into the middle, claiming one of the bell towers back, which means that if they now get an altar, they will at least be able to end the game. And the next altar phase is going to spawn 2 altars. We're going to get an altar, 2 altars at the bottom of the map. So for that, you really want to retake that bell tower if you can. It would be pretty important. Falstad and Blaze are the only 2 heroes, by the way, one on each team, that have not died yet in this game. So can they retake this? Whoever channels... The situation right now, whoever channels an altar first wins the game. If it stays like this. It's one of the reasons why the Enjoyers have a huge interest at taking... Riptire! Jaina is dead! And another shot fired against HGCEULUL. They're down to 4 points on the core. The first channel on the altar ends the game and Jaina is gone. The Enjoyers might just have done it. They might just have won the game. It's a 4 vs 5. Crankle with a Stormbolt that doesn't hit anything. Zoning Stormbolt at best. Couple of stuns are coming out. It's a 4v5. They're desperately trying to get a kill here. They again miss barely out on a kill against Dehaka. 2 seconds. Malfurion moves down to the bottom of the map. And this is gonna be game. Interrupt? Maybe? Yep, he gets the interrupt. But nope, the shots have been fired, and that is it. We're going to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. The Enjoyers, they take it on Towers of Doom. GG. Well, up we go. Game number 3, Infernal Shrines. Draft is going to be a little bit faster because we were more than halfway through and then Lavakal apparently had some internet problems, so this entire internet went down, disconnected from the lobby as well. So we'll see what they can do here. Enjoyers, it's interesting. They were able to win the second map and they are pulling even with HGCEULUL. I personally, when we came into the tournament, had much higher expectations for the blue team just because of some of the name power that they have on their lineup, but it just seems like the team isn't vibing as well as I thought they would. So they're not playing horribly or anything, but I expected them to be a lot more dominant, especially in the EU versus EU context here, but also against some of the NA opponents that they played against. So it's always a bit of a question, is it because of the ping disadvantage? Is it just that maybe they're not vibing like that, they don't have that synergy yet, that coordination? So whatever it may be, it creates some really nice games for us now, but I expected them, when the team first formed and signed up for these tournaments, to be a bit more dominant on this. So Zerokul gets banned. This is where Lavakal earlier dropped out. We got Dehaka, we got Falstad, so the double global approach again from the Enjoyers. And we have Junkrat as a starting choice. Blaze for the side lane as we're heading into Infernal Shrines, our third map, and here comes Johanna. So Jojo is something that I actually talked about earlier quite a bit. She's obviously one of the main heroes that you want to go for in Infernal Shrines next to Diablo. Those would be the 2 tanks that really come to mind. Dibbles has been banned, so Johanna gets taken by Crankle, and we have then on top of that Gul'dan that gets quickly locked in for the AoE damage on the Shrine. The final 2 picks now for the Enjoyers. Can they turn the entire series around and win it with a 2-1? After they just claimed victory on Towers of Doom. We get Malfurion and we get Varian. I've seen this draft before. Oh my god, this is the exact same draft they played on the last map. I mean, literally the same draft. And the 3rd time now that they're going for this Varian variation. So, yep, they definitely like the way that the comp is playing. But it's still kind of funny that they're going for the exact same heroes that they played in game number 2. So over on the left side, Dino, final choice for the blue team. It is Genji as we are heading into Infernal Shrines, the deciding map in the best of 3 series between HGCEULUL and the Enjoyers. Game number 3, so let's go. This was an absolute disaster series, honestly. This must be the 6th attempt by now to get some of these games started, but we're finally here on the 3rd map, the deciding map between HGCEULUL and the Enjoyers. Over on the left, Hazops with Blaze. We got Yasuo and Brightwing. Lopaka is playing Gul'dan. Dainu on Genji. We get Crankle on Johanna. And over on the right side of the map, it's the Enjoyers with Arian on Junkrat. We got Richu on Dehaka. They play the double global again with Alvaros on Falstad. We have Itrex on Varian. And Lavakal is playing Malfurion. So everybody's getting ready for the 5-man brawl in the middle. And Varian is immediately getting attacked, but we get a kill against Blaze. Dragged in and taken down. Nice. So, very, very quick kill for the Enjoyers, carrying some of the momentum from game number 2 straight into the 3rd map. Well, while we're going through the early game motions, there's actually a question that popped up in chat during the games, and it's an interesting one. And since these games all end up on YouTube as well, here's a question for the YouTube audience. I mean, I know that there's always people that just don't like Twitch. They don't want to watch those games live. They prefer to have the fully edited version. But there is a question that came up once or twice now, and it's actually something that in the context of me getting a new, much better streaming PC soon becomes interesting. And that is if live streaming, if dual live streaming on Twitch and YouTube is actually something that specifically the YouTube crowd is interested in. So if you're generally watching on YouTube, is that something that is appealing to not only have the videos uploaded, of course, as usual, so that is going to stay the same no matter what happens, but in addition to that also have the live streams on YouTube, or does that at the end of the day not really make a difference? I'm actually a little bit curious on what the reasons are that people might want to watch it on YouTube live, but don't want to watch it on Twitch or are not interested in tuning in there. So if there is a certain interest available or not, just in the context of me possibly doing that in the future a little bit, if there is at least some interest of it. But yeah, because so far it was always like the division between like, hey, you have the live stuff on Twitch and you have the VODs if you want to watch the edited matches on YouTube. But since half a year ago or something, Twitch now has loosened some of the restrictions for partners a bit and is now technically allowing some of the world streaming. That would become an option if there is interest from the crowd that is watching generally on YouTube. Talking about the game at hand though, as we are now slowly starting to go for the next mercenary camps here and preparing for the first objective that gets announced in a moment. We have the Drain build for Gul'dan, so we've actually had a fair amount of build variety on him over the recent days and weeks. By now, with earlier an Echoed Corruption build being played, we're now also looking at a Drain for him in game number 2. The build, obviously, that we're having for the red team is essentially exactly the same that they already played in the previous one. Not really coming as a surprise here. They did exceptionally well on the last map and were able to win it then towards the end. So now they're hoping with the same composition to do the same thing once more. And time will tell if they can. Atrix is getting attacked as we're heading into Shrine number 1. Jet propulsion barely missing. That could have been the end of Varian if it connected, but he was able to move out. They are still both hoping for an early level 7, but it is the blue team that takes a significant lead on Shrine minions. Here comes the attack right away, and well, off we go. 1 kill, 2-0. And down here in the meantime, what are we going to get from Dino and his boys? They're trying to move back in. 16 to 18. Oh, nice. This time the stun connects properly. They might be able to get a kill now. Dino's a bit isolated on the right side and needs the assistance of Brightwing, who comes in. Taunt available in another 10 seconds, but we're now on 20 stacks towards 28. Attacks still coming here. And I think it's the blue team that claims it. They have 38 stacks and they're going to get their Mortar Punisher. Nobody dying in this entire fight, by the way. So the only kill that we've seen so far is at the beginning of the game against Blaze. But in this particular battle, absolutely nobody went down. There were a few heroes that were close to falling. And right now, we're having the bait over the wall, the defense against the Mortar Punisher. There is still some movements that have happened towards the side lanes, with Blaze, for example, taking towards the top with Genji now. So they are able to break through the wall in the middle and also damaging the fort slightly. The red team falling a bit behind here by roughly half a level. But they didn't lose a single hero yet. And it was a really interesting objective fight too. For a while it looked like the blue team might actually lose out on it. The Enjoyers starting to take control of it, starting to push into it, and nearly able to make it work. But, well, as it stands, we're having a single kill 5 minutes into the game, and more action happening, obviously, around all of this, as both teams are now aiming for level 10 abilities, preparing for the next objective, and still also trying at least to get the dominant mercenary position in the game. With the red team now locking in the one at the bottom of the map. So the neutral camp, essentially, that they were just able to play. So for the Enjoyers, still hoping to get Dino here, for example. Has to zip out, get a bit low. Naka still at the top. And they got still the globals. I honestly want to see how this is going to play out if Falstad is going to get those same angles in again as he did in the last game. Once that he had Wind Tunnel, he made so many good plays, pushing everybody into a corner and preparing kill opportunities. Specifically for Arian to follow up with a Riptire. It was pretty big. So Blessed Shield is now in for Joanna. They're hoping to jump on Alvarez with Falstad, who obviously is playing it very slow and safe after the heroic abilities have connected for their opponents. But now that we have both teams, we get the exact... no, we don't get the exact same plays. This time, since we are on a different map with a different objective, we have Malfurion going straight into Tranquility over the Twilight Dream. So, similar plays, similar builds, but slight deviations away from what we've seen on Towers of Doom regardless. Alright. There for it. Top side. Next shrine is going to be an Arcane Shrine, by the way. And all the way at the top, 1 kill to 0 still. A little bit of a focus happening. Gul'dan sitting down at the bottom of the map, just aiming for experience, not even showing on lane for a long time. Was a bit more careful until he knew exactly where the red team is positioned and where they popped in on this. And then in the meantime, we're having over on the left the next Shaman camp about to be claimed. The red team is now in a position where they can take their own too. And it's a top side shrine this time, so top side objective. But everybody is still playing it extremely cautious here. Nobody is making super aggressive moves, tries to invade, or try... Oh, well, maybe. Dino tries for a moment, jumps essentially straight into Varian, and then realizes very quickly that might be a dumb idea, and that he needs to get the hell out of there, or that taunt might be the last thing that he experiences before dying again. So Genji moves out both teams with their Shaman camp, and now the chance to move all the way up towards the top and claim the next objective, which this time could do more damage, specifically since the wall has already suffered some damage here, I mean on both sides. So yeah, could break through this. But the red team is actually not even going for the shrine. Instead they're trying to waste the opponent's time a bit. And they're moving on to the lanes right now. Trying to get value in the middle with Falstad and down at the bottom of the map with the Haka. Alvarez is even moving down to the bot lane. So the idea is apparently to get as much structural damage done as they can. Give up the objective and just have enough counter damage to make it worth their time. So, not sure if that's really happening for them though. Brightwing is coming in as they're trying to go for Falstad. Gust! And Alvaros is alive. If Dino would have X-Striked the Gust, I guess he could have gotten the kill. Always noteworthy that this is still being played out on the NA server, so there is of course a bit of a ping problem too. Still something to be noteworthy. But yep, with that, we're now looking at Riptire to clean this up a little bit. See him going for Brightwing, and Yasuo's losing some decent hit points. But here comes again Genji, trying to flank in. Jet Propulsion connect, and there's that X-Strike. This time it connects and it hits Varian, so that should allow them to also take out the fort. Brightwing to the rescue as Dino was starting to drop a bit low. Genji definitely needed healing there. But the Haka at the bottom of the map is actually getting them a lot of counter value. Damn. They're getting a lot here. Wow. They are opening up a fort too, so accelerating the game a bit on this. Much, much better than I expected them to do here. Now, this wall is already slightly opened up. Blaze is escaping. But that was a nice move by Richu at the bot lane. That really helped them. So, yeah, that really helped them quite a bit. Now, in the middle of the map, the poke is still also continuing as the teams are starting to push for the next. It's 2 forts destroyed, 2 fountains gone, only 1 remaining is at the bottom of the map. Next shrine should spawn, I believe, at the bot lane, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, kill for a kill. 10 minutes in, only 2 kills. Not really a very kill-heavy game. Most of the fights are decided fairly quickly right now. But, as is, we have that half-level lead still maintained by the team in blue. So, now the chance to go for the bottom fort, maybe open up the wall here too, especially with Lopaka now moving in. They are really trying to just poke as much as they can. Blaze is doing it, Gul'dan is moving in for it. Genji is sitting at the lanes and is also keeping Falstad a bit at bay, who has to be very careful once that Genji disappears from the map. It's going to be one of those battles that we see just the entire time. Yeah, and there it is again. Falstad is immediately getting attacked. Dino's just saying hello, zips out, and just keeps Alvaros in check. Falstad has to be very, very careful how he moves on the map now. 16 is connecting, so we're getting the final cut. And we have 4 Gul'dan after he went full on drain on 16. The darkness within. Bot lane has been opened up. Shrine is going to spawn there soon, but with a 16 talent advantage, they're of course now trying to capitalize on that power spike and hope to get some damage on the fort. I mean, if anybody jumps out a bit too much, if Malfurion, for example, gets out of position, then you can always try and get a kill here. But just poking against the fort a little bit and slowly whittle the hit points down, prepare it for later on, is already worth it. When it comes to just general damage, 18,000, 19,000 for Junkrat, we have, of course, much, much more for Genji, who again goes for Falstad, who's flying out here. So Alvaros is escaping from Genji very quickly. Didn't even try to fight anything. He was so far away from a fort, and the distance to safety was just too big for him to do anything else. So he immediately went for a fly. 27,000 damage for Genji. Dino's been poking this entire game. But I actually like that he flew out there. Distance to safety is one of the things that we're talking a lot, specifically in the context with some heroes. Specifically, Illidan, for example, comes to mind. But in this situation where Falstad just doesn't have anything to fall back onto and there's no allies nearby either, once that he gets engaged by Genji this far out, he needs to get away. And he has a few mobility tools, but just flying away is the easiest one in that situation. And it's not a cooldown that is big enough that you are really missing it, especially since the next shrine was already coming up. So here comes the next battle. 2 Punishers have already been won by the blue team, so he has an opportunity to go for the next one. And they're gonna try. Jet Propulsion. There's also Horrify. They want Varian. Can they get him? Nope, they're losing Genji instead. Genji is gone, and there's the second kill for the Enjoyers. They're trying for Lopaka. Bot lane fort, quick reminder, is gone. No fountain down there. Big move by Dehaka. Essentially, Hanzo just decided to take the hands off the keyboard as he realized, alright boys, I'm dead. He gets dragged, killed, and that's 3 kills to 1 now for the Enjoyers. After losing 2 forts and destroying 1, they are now the ones taking the next objective, and this Punisher will move for the bottom keep. So that was exactly the fight that they needed. They draw even in experience, they are ahead in kills now, take the early level 18, and there's the chance to now move cross map or move towards the keep and see what they can do there. Even trying to go for 2 more camps. So they're really trying to apply pressure on essentially all lanes here. Richu could even activate that. So they are stalling this a little bit. Not stalling it towards 20. Yeah, but first camp is taken. Brightwing is all the way up at the top. And I was just like, yeah, well, maybe I can push this out a bit further. Now we have the Frozen Punisher claimed. Brightwing apparently still not in vision. Is saying hello quickly, and so is Genji, and that might be a dead birdie. Genji rotated over, there's the Gust, and Alvaros, he can move back. But that's also 2 heroes that are now missing down at the bottom of the map. And Blaze isn't here either. So they have to now slowly rotate over. There's still a double camp in the middle. Falstad is starting to fly in. So this could become a huge liability now for the blue team. They are getting Genji back into the fight. Brightwing is on his way, but the Keep is already taking damage even before the 2 of them arrive. And this is a Frozen Punisher. So you are guaranteed to do a lot of damage with this one. And that's exactly what they're hoping for. I don't think they can take the Keep, but they can definitely do some work here. And damn, that thing is down. They might lose it after all. One more, if they... Yep, there it is. Gets 1 more rotation through, disables it. If they are poking on this one, it's gone. And they're letting it slide, damn. Ah, the minions take it out. Okay, I was actually worried for a moment that it might survive with a few hit points. Blaze, Jet Propulsion, Bunker, Riptire, Blessed, Shield, Crankle. Might be in trouble, but he's also trying to prep a kill for the team. Gets a lot of heals here. Genji's moving back in. Brightwing to the rescue for now. The drag against Dinosaurs. They're hoping to take him on. Half a level to 20. The keep is destroyed. It's actually kind of funny when you look at the minimap. All the structures are still standing for the blue team. The only thing that's gone is the entire bot lane. So, yeah, the entire bot lane has been destroyed here and is out. So, level 20 is kicking in soonish for the 2 of them. We have now 33,000 damage for Junkrat, 34,000 for Genji. Falstad is already sitting all the way topside. Very safe, by the way. So as you can see here, he's not making any plays for... he's not moving out. He's definitely fully aware that there might be a trap against him, so they're waiting for level 20. This is essentially the idea here. They have their Storm talents now, so that's a big one for them at this point in time. And the opponent is still at the bottom of the map trying to retake this. But yeah, Hanzo gets attacked. The Arca's coming in. Yeah, but they're already out of reach. Falstad flies, and again, keep those gusts in mind. There's the wind tunnel. They go for Krankle. And he's alive. Gets the Blessed Shield out. This time they were trying to force it, but it was so successful on Towers of Doom, and they're trying it again in game number 3. And after all, they were still able to isolate Johanna and kill her. So these fly aggressions that we're seeing from Falstad are really successful. They're even able to go for Gul'dan. So that's 2 heroes down. If they can destroy a few more, they might even be able to go for the core here. That's 2 gone. A quick taunt against Hazops as they're trying to take Blaze down. Not able to do that, at least not just yet. But here comes the counterplay as they're going for Atrax. Another drag connected from the Haka. They take Genji out. This might just be it. The Enjoyers on their way to a potential victory against HGCEULUL as they're moving in at the bottom. 6 kills, 2-1. Big plays made. 3 heroes have been destroyed. Only 2 defenders are remaining. And this is game. This is it. Hanzo is trying to slow things down. 10 seconds for Jojo. Wind tunnel, the core is falling, and HGCEULUL is putting the Lul into Europe as they're losing everything, losing out against the Enjoyers as well. That's game. The red team takes it with a 2-1 victory in the best of 3.